Reach for the sky, Pilgrim. Hello, it's Benny Bones here, and welcome back to the long drive. Here we are, along our trip. I don't know how far we've gone, I haven't checked yet. But yeah, I remember we seem to have... Why are you clicking away? Are you hot? You got liquid in there? Yeah, you got liquid in there. Why are you clicking away? Anyway, yes, we're along our way, and we stopped at this, double building. The, I don't know, the commercial buildings, double buildings, where they're not warehouses, but the bridge building. I'm not sure what it's called, but this is where we stopped. I parked down here because I don't want to be on the road, and I don't want to be too close. Because if a bus spawns in, my car has a habit of disappearing. It's just happened to me in the past, and it has taken 3 or 4 loads to actually get my car to spawn in enough to be able to start the game. So yeah, once again I have played with my audio settings. Oh boy, whoever would have whoever would have thought of that? So yeah, it is now, what is it, 1:30? No, 12:30 at night, and you might hear a bit of noise in the background. A bit of a whirring noise. That is my 3D printer doing its thing. It is kind of arm's length to the side of me. Ooh, a spray. Maybe I can take that with me. I should have brought my car up a bit further, but... oh, that sucked. Yeah, because it is arm's length beside me. And I am printing a few little figurines up for my brother. He works as a DM, would you believe, for a Dungeons & Dragons game. That's his job, basically. He gets paid to do it, which sounds pretty crazy. But yeah, he needs little bits and bobs every now and again, and I'm quite happy to help him out. My 3D printer spends most of his time just looking pretty. It doesn't do too much at the moment. I bought this one specifically for printing something, and now it's printed. It's not getting much use anymore. So I'm quite happy to put it to use at the moment. But I am, how far are we? 7.5 hours into like a 25-hour print at the moment. So this is going to take a hot minute. So this might make a bit of noise for a while. Okay, I haven't found anything really notably of interest in here. You can probably tell because I haven't really been talking about what's going on in the game. Where'd that spray go? There. So yes, where we were last time was a bit of a trek. Had a few things go wrong. I'm pretty sure it was my tires. Well, that caused me to do that massive flip out. But yeah. Hopefully this time we won't have those issues. And it will be smooth sailing for the next 50 kilometers or so. Hopefully we'll make that within reasonable time, because it has been 3 days now. 3 days, because we're technically the next day. So yeah, it's been a few days since I've played last, and yeah, I just felt like jumping back in and giving it another go. Playing with my audio. Get that right. There we are. I did burn my hand earlier, so it's a little bit tender at the moment. Just doing the usual. I was cooking dinner, and oh, that sun! I've had to drive like this a few times, doing 100 kilometers an hour, and just kind of make out with the road, but it's not great. Yeah, I was making dinner, and I went to pick something up, got a bit close to the pan, and burnt my hand. So yes, my mouse hand as well. So. Makes things a little bit difficult. I've kind of got an ice pack on there at the moment, but that only works so well for so long. And I have to keep changing them out every now and again. I've got a few of them. I go and change them out every now and again. Yeah, a bit tender, a bit sore. But let me know how the audio is in this one. I've watched a few little YouTube videos on how to get decent sound. I think I'm a bit loud still, just peeking out a lot. Maybe that's just me talking at the moment. It might quieten down a little bit as we get further into the game, because I can't actually hear myself. I can't hear what level I am. Well, I can, but it's not the level I am projecting at. Well, not the level that the game is recording at, anyway. Because I use an audio interface, a Scala 2i2, first gen, and it has a, you know, direct monitoring, but it is not picking up the gain and all that other stuff that the what's it called? That OBS is recording at. So yeah, I'm curious to see how this sounds. I might have also had a drink or two to start with, just two. Oh well, 1.5. I spilt half of it all over my computer desk, which is a little bit annoying. I've just had to frantically mop everything up before it got into the top of my computer. Because I'm one of those people who leaves their computer on the ground. My computer sits on the ground beside my table. So yeah, if I spilt something, it's going to go straight into the top of my computer, unfortunately. I had to frantically mop that up. But yeah, otherwise, let's hope to get a decent run in this. So far we've got a spray. Oh yeah, we've got binoculars from our previous... Ooh, there was a rock there. From our previous adventures. What do I want to find in this one? Hubcaps might be fun. Some hubcaps. What I'd like to see is, not necessarily hubcaps, but what are those chrome rings? They go around the outside. They're funky. I'm thinking of getting some of them for my car. Look an absolute... Look really... I kind of dig the look of it, but my car at the moment looks pretty trashy. But I want to get bigger rims on my car, just because I want to put bigger tires, and it's easier to get bigger tires for bigger rims than it is to get bigger tires for small rims. I saw you, rabbit. Oh, rabbit. But yeah, that's right. Last time we also painted my car a lovely mint green colour. And put a diesel engine in. I can't tell how much fuel we got because I don't have a fuel gauge anymore. Lost that in the grand flip. Ooh, we got something here. We've got a Lada station wagon. Turn that off. I'll wait till the morning. I'll leave that shut. Have a little nap in the car, I think. We'll see what the morning holds. Alrighty, let's see what we've got here. There is what down there? There is what? That is a... That's the water tower? I think that one there is the water tower. Ooh. Wait for traffic. I think that one there is the water tower. Or, yeah. Don't like either of you. Let's see if I can get this little bugger too. No, he's turned tail. That one was a biggie. So that biggie, I think, is the manhunting type. I say manhunting like this is RimWorld. Oh, I love playing that game. There's a pooper. Gas, that's no good to me. Round headlights? No, that takes square headlights. If I could find a round headlight bumper, that would be fine. Oil. Oil. Empty. What are you then? Square headlights as well. Another spray. I've only got 3 shots left in this revolver. A bit of a shame. You the compass, are you? Compass. They're cool and all, but I don't know what use they are in this game, really. Can I put it on the actual engine itself, or does that not work? I put that, what is it, E to attach? No, it didn't attach there. Oh, it's F to attach, not E. There we are. Like a boost gauge hanging out the top of the engine. You ever seen that with the older hot rods and whatnot, where they got the gauge clusters kind of outside the car? There's nothing else really here. That's something I always thought was a little bit. To start with, I thought that was like, why put them out there? That's a bit bizarre. And as I've grown a bit older and I've grown a bit wiser, I think that makes sense. You know, it's easier to route the wiring up that far than it is to go all the way into the cab, especially for things like oil pressure. How much? We've got plenty of diesel, don't we? Did I say how much diesel have we got? Yeah, we've got plenty. Easier to route the wiring and all the cables, and especially for old mechanical gauges, to route them up there so they're outside of the cab in case something goes wrong, like an oil pressure gauge. You don't want one of them breaking loose inside the cab. Yeah. Gonna keep going. I didn't check what kilometers we were, but I think we were pretty close to 50 before where we stopped. So yeah, we've only done a few kilometers. It said 61, but I don't know how true that is. The ship right out there. So yeah, just coasting along. Ooh, I was not looking where I was going. Ooh, what's going on? Where'd that rock come from anyway? Might have always been there. I'll have to check that. Oh, what is going on? What is going on? Lost another door? But we do need wheels. Normally I would carry at least a spare with me. But not this time. For whatever reason, I just haven't decided to take a spare. But I think that's a rock out there. So far, we're off to a good start, I think. Off to a good start. Now, where is my spray? Hopefully it's still in the back. There's one. I don't want to fire. Can I drop that? Yes. Can I drop that? Yes. There we go. Put that in there. Take you with me. Oh well, we've got air conditioning now. I keep expecting the back end to kind of drift around like a power slide, but it doesn't. You know, doing donuts. Because you can get the back end spinning pretty easily with the rear wheel. You spin it up pretty easily. Just checking on that print there very quickly. So yeah, I thought I'd just do a really quick one. I've kind of been a bit naughty and purchased more games on Steam just before I start playing this. I opened up Steam to see if there's any updates or anything to download because this game runs on Steam. So I thought, you know what? While I'm looking at it, I will see what there is. And Square Enix. Yeah, they've got a bunch of games up on special at the moment. So I might have just bought the entire collection of Tomb Raider games. I had 2 of them before. I haven't played them yet. You know, I would say the original Tomb Raider, but it's not. It's the remake, the 2013 Tomb Raider remake. I had that one before, and I had Temple of Osiris before. So I kind of went and purchased all the DLCs, everything, the whole collection. So yeah, now I've even got the originals, the PlayStation originals, which might be a bit of fun. So we'll see how they go. I might even get around to, at some point, installing them and playing them. If that's something people want to see, me kind of bumble through a couple of even the classic games. I remember them coming out, and I don't remember them coming out, but I remember my friends, my neighbours, when I was growing up, my neighbour had a PlayStation with Tomb Raider. So that was just something we'd go over and play video games, and Tomb Raider was one of those video games. So I remember it from my childhood. But yeah, if anyone's interested in seeing that, maybe drop a message, let me know. drop a comment, I should say. Don't message me. I don't even check my text messages half the time. And that goes directly to my phone, let alone check the messages on EMs on YouTube. Who knows? But yeah, back to this game. Now we need a door. I'm pretty sure wheels are fairly important. That was a bit of a last minute dodge. Last minute dodge there. I'm not doing too well at the moment. I'm really not playing that well. I need to get my head back in the game, I think, a bit more. Road goes that way, so we go that way. Take a shortcut. Yeah, I'm all over the show at the moment by the looks of it. Maybe those last couple of days off haven't really been that great for me. What I have done in that time is I had to service my car, give it the old 200,000 kilometer service, and I did. I changed the oil and the filter. I haven't done the spark plugs because I only did them 10,000 k's ago. But what I did find when I was working on my car is one of the cooling hoses had cracked, and that took me about 5 hours to change. That's stupid time to replace a cooling hose. First of all, I couldn't get it off, so I ended up cutting it off. And then when I put the new one on, I couldn't get the hose clamp to tighten properly because I couldn't reach it. It's just such a weird spot. Down the front, behind all the cabling and everything like that, there was no way to get into it from the bottom, so I had to go through the top. And yeah, hello Robert. I just couldn't reach it. It was one of those things. And I got to the point where I was about to start throwing tools. You know, that's pretty frustrating when you're trying to work on something and start throwing tools. It's now like 9 o'clock at night. It's pitch black. You're working under like a work light. And you're about to throw tools in the driveway. But I got it in the end. I did get it, and it seems to be working fine. I'll give it a few heat cycles, and then I'll see if I can get the I'll see if there's any movement or anything like that in there. One thing I didn't like is the new hose has a bit of a bend in it. For whatever reason, it's got a bit of a bend in it from factory, and that kind of rubs on the alternator. So it's not a good thing, you know. That will eventually rub through if I don't do something about it. The last thing I want is another leak in that hose. That was a nightmare to replace. Oh, another 10k's down. We're doing pretty good so far. I probably will push it a little bit further than 50 today, but we'll see how it goes. There's still plenty of time for the car to freak out or me to hit even more rocks. And yeah, for things just to go horribly wrong. So yes, I did purchase a new camera lately. I've taken it out and I went for a little walk this afternoon, well this evening anyway. I drove down to the beach, which is about 40 k's from where I live. I did drive down to the beach and I went for a little walk along the beach with my camera. Saw the setting sun, which I'll see how the footage turns out. And yeah, I just went for a bit of a walk, bit of a test. I had to remake one of my microphone holders because when I went away on my little trip down south, my camera fell off the dashboard and I broke the little mount for my microphone. So I did 3D print a couple of new ones, and I thought I'd go out and I'd test it because I haven't tried this microphone on this camera yet. So that was something I went out and did. And we'll see how the sound quality turns out. I haven't listened to it yet. From what I understand, it could do with a little bit of a, what the reviews say online, it could do with a bit of a boost and level. I have tried to push it up as far as I could in the actual camera preamp. But if you get too much, push it up too high in preamp, you get a bit of noise, and it picks up all the wind noise and all that kind of fun stuff that you don't really want. on a microphone, even with a dead cat on it. So yeah, we'll have to see how that turns out. I might even just drop a little bit of footage on here. Who knows? We'll see. Ooh, what have we got there? Another garage. Maybe we'll find that door we need that I lost without paying too much attention to where we were going. That's the problem. In real life, I'll be watching the road pretty focused on it. But in these games, you know, I'm not that fussed because you just go, oh, that broke. I'll go and pick up a new one at the next service stop, basically. And another one of those on there. Gosh, it's setting sun already. Place is empty compared to normal. What's going on in here? Do they have a spring clean or something? Diesel, oil, and gas. Not really what I'm after. A sponge would be nice. A couple of sponges. And a funky looking tire. Nice looking bike. A bumper. A rifle. Back seat. Mirror. What have we got in the bucket? Water. What else have we got? Oil. One thing I have noticed since I was working on my car is I've got this twinge in my left arm. Oh, it's from my shoulder. It's just like twitching constantly. I think I pulled something in my arms when I was trying to get that pipe off because I did yank on it pretty hard. Giggity. Yeah, I spent like a good 2 hours trying to get that pipe off, and I think I've done something to my arm. Not fun, but let's just wait till morning because I don't want to drive too far in the dark. Yeah, so I think I've done something to my arm. And hopefully it will come back to normal, but at the moment it's just a little bit twitchy. I've just got this constant twitch in my arm. I don't know what it's from. Well, I do know what it's from, but I don't know why my arm is doing that. It's a little bit annoying when I'm sitting there trying to relax and do stuff, and I just got this twitch in my shoulder. But it should come right. Every time I've done stuff like this in the past, it's always come right. But then there will be that one time where it doesn't, and then I'll be like, oh. Something's banging around in there. Really talk more about the game I'm playing, to be honest. So what do we need? We need if we can get a fuel gauge, that would be nice to see what fuel we're doing. What do I want? We've got plenty of diesel, so I don't need to find a boat for a while, I don't think. We need a door from the driver's side door, a boot lid, some hubcaps, maybe the correct bonnet. That's something I should be looking for as well, the correct bonnet. But I do like my Mad Max vehicles. That's kind of the main draw I get to this game is the Mad Max feel. If I could find just a matte black paint, I would use that without a doubt. Matte black everything. Make it a rat for sure. If I get a bit of rust coming through with that rat, that'd be great. Supercharge this diesel as well, that'd be fun. Like the Screaming Jimmies, the Detroit two-strokes. I'd love to see a Hawaiian supercharger hanging off the top of this thing. But I really doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. Something else I should really think about doing is bringing out my steering wheel. I put it in its box and I put it away, but what I should really do is be using it. Because I really enjoy playing this game, I do. I just don't really dedicate a lot of time to doing it. If I do, it's at weird it's at weird hours. So yeah, that's something I should really be looking at doing. Every now and again, I just look over at my 3D printer doing its thing, because yeah, it's very distracting. I got a little light that shines on it, so I can see where it's at, and I just see the print head moving backwards and forwards. If you don't have a 3D printer, you don't really know what you're missing. It's more than just printing knickknacks and toys and things like that. I love the engineering behind it, and the creativity that goes into some of the prints that you can make out of it, like, ooh. There we go, I was distracted by something. How did my fuel can beat me? Oh. Stop, just stop. There we are. But yes, as I was saying, the creativity that goes into some of the things. Like I was saying, how I broke my microphone support holder thing. What happened was I had my camera with the microphone sitting on top of the dashboard in my car, and when I accelerated, it fell off because they are quite heavy cameras, and landed on my friend's leg, and it broke the microphone, the plastic mount that holds it. And rather than going, oh no, and spending another $40 buying a new microphone, the microphone's fine. Just the mount that broke. So rather than trying to source a microphone mount, I just thought, you know what? I got the dimensions. I still got the mount itself. It won't glue back together. I saw you spawn in there, buddy. It won't glue back together. So I will take the dimensions and the sizes, and I will make my own. And that's exactly what I did. Come on, stop. Have a quick little look around, because I don't want to spend too long scavenging. I do love a good scavenge. Like an Easter egg hunt. I do love a good scavenge. I spend far too much time looking at stuff on Marketplace thinking, oh, I could do something with that, or I could do something with this. Gas. Ugh, gas. We do have a front bumper. There's one sitting there. More gas. Rim, or a wheel, I should say. Well, hello, I haven't seen any of you in a while, my lady. You can come with me. I need a friend for this ride. How would you like to ride in the back like a... Ride in the back? Like a limousine, that's what I was trying to say. You need to turn around, my dear. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. No. Wait, no, the other way. Here we are. You can kind of get the motion right and get it to turn around. Thank you, my dear. You are going to get some use out of you. Anyway, back to the game. Anything down there? Not really. You can jump down here, but I don't really want to. Sometimes you can find the broom, but I'm not that keen. So it's got no wheels. So assuming it's got no wheels, it'll have no engine or radiator. But that's all right. It did have gas in the gas tank, in the fuel tank, I should say, because it's a diesel bus. It shouldn't have gas in there. It shouldn't have a gas tank. It should have a diesel tank or a fuel tank. Anyway. Yes, 3D printers. I do watch a lot of channels about people who produce things with 3D printers as well. Have you seen the Fan Showdown? I enjoy the Fan Showdown. Again, it's another channel which is dedicated more or less to 3D printed things. Mostly fans. And it's some of the designs people put a lot of effort into some of these designs, and some people don't put any effort in at all, and some work and some don't. Ooh, Wiggle Wobble Road. Ooh. And it's just really good to see things like that. And some of the things people make with them, it's more than just silly props, and it's more than just crazy designs and things like that, or I printed this because I can print this. Like there's one chap I've been watching, and he made an autonomous like rover basically, and he put it out in a field and he was stress testing different things and about different kind of joints rather than having belt driven joints. There were all sorts of other weird ones. Yeah, look, just the engineering they put into these things is really incredible. If only they could do it out of metal or something like that. I know you can get metal 3D printers, but they cost a lot of money, and I really don't know if the quality is really that good yet. At the moment, 3D printers have an inherent flaw where they're not super accurate. They can do pretty good, they do really good, but super accuracy is not something they really do. You can go SLA printers, which is the liquid ones, liquid resin, and they're very precise. But I don't know if they're really that strong. I've never used one before, and I can't really tell too much about them. They're great for printing miniatures and figures and models and things like that. But if you want to print like rapid prototyping, you need an SLA printer, which is the filament. And yeah, they're really good for that because they are quick and strong. I say quick, this print I've got going on at the moment is going to take about 25 hours, like I mentioned. All these rocks all of a sudden. I guess we are on a little bit of a downhill in a rocky terrain. But yeah. Just one of those things I bought years ago, and I've kind of like, ooh, spin. Can I? Yeah, there we go. Something I bought a couple of years ago, and I've never looked back on. Okay, the first one I bought was a piece of junk. It did really well before I started messing with it. So this new one that I bought, because I just got tired of fixing and repairing and things like that. This new one I bought, I haven't messed with yet. So it's still the way it came. That's it. They're completely different beasts, to be honest. The technology 5 years ago has greatly been improved with the new printers. Even for like $200. My new printer, I've got an Ender. What are we? Yeah, an Ender 3 V2. So a version 2 Ender 3. $200 and something, $250 or so. It is an amazing printer, and that is dirt cheap compared to the first one I bought. Yeah, it's amazing. That's the way technology grows like that. Little rock there. Just get the drift right. Get the drift right. All doing it one-handed. Another gas station coming up. 89. Wow, we are flying along, I think. Either that or I haven't really been paying too much attention to everything that's going on. I've just been jibber-jabbering. But yes, technology has improved so far. It's amazing. I was watching a video today of a man who's 3D printed like a life-size Lego go-kart that actually works. He's able to ride this thing around because it's got electric motors and all that kind of funky junk in there. But it's just amazing to see things people make. Oh, I forgot about you back there. I'm sorry. I need to slow down a bit quicker and not go around corners as fast. What have we got up here when this loads in? Alright, what are we? Oil. Had a really quick little sip then. Alcohol. 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 Alcohol, my favorite. Gas, that's not my favorite. Two-stroke, bike tire, racing slick. No, you're a really nice tire though. Tire and rim. What are we down here? Bus headlight is that? It is indeed. Don't have any round bumpers though. Why is there a bike up there? Honestly, that's something I would do, to be honest. Put a bike up on there. That's something I would love to do, is buy a warehouse. If I could keep... Why are you so far away? Someone just come out here and just drop trowel right in front of the back door. The toilet right there, mate. But yes, that's something I would love to do, is just to buy a warehouse so I could like just keep track of all my projects and stack them up and all that kind of fun stuff. Not really much here. Oh, these are fun. I'll take some of these for sure. Yeah, so it's like if I ever win lotto or get enough money, I hope to do that. Just buy or rent a warehouse for a prolonged period of time. And yeah, technically you can't live in them. That's only if they know about it, you know. I know people who live in warehouses. Yeah. Be able to cordon a section off for my music and for my recording and computer section, and yeah, get a boogaloo. What are you on the floor there? Oh, too late now. You are keen to go, engine, aren't you? But yes, and then have a section for cars. I'd love to have a hoist of some description. Being able to lift a car up and being able to get underneath it with ease is an amazing thing. I used hoist when I was at my college. I went to do a mechanics course in college, and you can lift a car up and check underneath it, and you walk underneath the car. It is such a weird thing, 'cause you know these things are like 2 ton, and you're walking around underneath it like it's like nothing. It's so bizarre. It's something it takes a bit to get used to. I still feel a bit weird walking underneath them, just because, you know, I'm standing there, I should say, thinking I shouldn't be under here, you know, what happens if this thing comes down? But yeah, that's something I'd love as a hoist. So then it wouldn't be such an issue to get underneath and change the oil or something in my car. These are all things I dream about. I'd love to have a warehouse. It's something I've always wanted. Love to have a few classic cars. There's a few that I've always wanted, but I'm slowly getting through them. Every now and again, every time I sell my driver, I'll go out and I'll buy something that I've always wanted. I love a 1960s Morris 1000. That's something. They're cute little quirky things. Not great cars, but they're bizarre. For that time, they were just, you know, dime a dozen. But compare them to nowadays cars, which you think dime a dozen cars. What is out there that everyone has? A Suzuki, what is it? Swift. A Suzuki Swift, everyone has. You see one of these classic cars, like a 1960s car, which has a whopping 1 litre engine, or 1000 cc's. And yeah, it is, you know, you look and thinking, that is different. That's what I like, different. I'd love to buy an old ambulance as well. A 1980s F250 ambulance. I don't know about other countries in the world, but the F250 had an ambulance back made for it out of fiberglass here in Australia. Ooh, I was darting about. And yeah, it was quite a common thing when I was growing up, seeing the ambulances like that. Even my dad drove one. He was an ambulance driver when I was a child. And yeah, it used to be kind of a common thing, but nowadays, since about the mid to early 90s, they stopped driving around and they've gone with vans, as a Sprinter and whatnot, Mercedes vans. So you don't see them around anymore. unless they're like converted into campers and whatnot. I really dig the old F250 vans. Massive 5.6 liter V8. Huge things. I've always wanted one, and the longer it takes for me to find one, the rarer and rarer they get because they just rust away, unfortunately. 97. Wow, this says for me, this has been really quick. And I've just been chatting the whole time. It's incredible. So I've had a few cars in my past. I think I'm on my third Ford in a row. And I was looking at actually buying a Jag or a Mercedes before I bought my current Ford. Just because I wanted a Jag. There was one up for sale. What is it? XJS. The SE. The inline 6-cylinder rather than the 12-cylinder. It was up for sale, $3,000, which I thought was, it's reasonable price for it. They're a fairly rare car, 1980 something. A bit of rust because everything has a bit of rust here. Just, it's not that we're in an arid climate or we're in a wet climate or we don't salt the roads. It's just the sun is pretty hard on paint and it doesn't last, and nothing here lasts. But yeah, there was a one up for sale and I couldn't get hold of the guy. I was really keen on buying it, and I was just gonna Mad Max it basically, fix up the rust the best I could and just Mad Max it. Manual as well. Ooh, manual. But that never came to pass. So yeah, and then I looked at a Mercedes. It looked pretty good, but had this weird vibration. When you're at idle, the engine would rock pretty badly. Not to start with. When it got up to temp, it would start to vibrate pretty bad. So I kind of said no, I'd pass on it. And there's a few other cars I looked at that all needed a bit of work as well, but those are the two most notable ones. Yeah, I've looked at a few cars. I wouldn't mind, doing a bit of review on some of these. I do enjoy watching regular car reviews. They're pretty good. They're great journalists, and he's got a Mr. Regular. I have no idea what his name is. I just remember him as Mr. Regular. He has an amazing wit. It can be a bit childish at times. Some of the jokes he's got are a bit childish. But he's kind of my generation, but in another country. So he's kind of grown up with the same things I've had, like internet. He remembers a time before internet. And it came in when he was a kid and things like that in the 90s, growing up in the 90s. And whatnot. And it kind of rings true. He's a bit of a car guy, a bit of a bike guy, and he's just talking about regular cars, and that's all I ever owned. I've never had super sports cars or muscle cars or lifted brodozers or anything like that. I've just had regular cars, and I just had to keep regular cars going. It was quite interesting to listen to some of his things and how he reviews these cars. He talks about practicality and things like that. Hand-me-down cars. I've had a few hand-me-down cars, to be honest. They've all been fine, but they were never something I thought I would ever want. But you end up with them and you just kind of go, yeah, this is actually really good, For what I need at this time, this is really good. So we'll just try and find the next bit of stoppage. What can I say? The next location, I should say. And I think we'll call it, because I think I've waffled on quite enough. Ooh, there's a bit of a tree there. My steering is getting even worse. And I've basically been looking at the the audio levels on my fraps. Hello, hello, hello. To see where I am peaking or if I'm not peaking. I know I don't peak anymore because I got a hard limit on there at -1 decibel, so it will never get higher than -1, so it'll never clip out. But yeah, just watching all the different meters and things like that. Okay, let's do this over here. I will just stop. Problem with these engines is they have so much torque, they just launch. Let's turn the hell around, so when I log in, I am not going to be all confused. Don't park on the road. Stop here. So yes, I will end it here then. My name is Benny Bones. The sun is just starting to rise. And it's such a bright sun, and it has to auto load right looking at it. So yes, I've been Benny Bones. This is The Long Drive. If you like the game, go pick it up. It's not that expensive. The developers are working pretty hard, and it is, for what seems to be a pretty pointless game, I really enjoy it. It's a long drive. I enjoy driving. And yeah, I enjoy talking as well by the sounds of it. Until next time, I've been Benny Bones. Adios. So here we have my desk, and my controls, and my microphone, and then there's my 3D printer whirring away like it does. We are, whereabouts are we? We are 8.5 hours in. It still says 20 hours, almost 21 hours on the clock, but I think you'll get through a bit quicker than that. As the layers get smaller and smaller, it should start speeding up. But yeah, that's where my printer is. This is where my microphone is, and here is my computer. So yeah.